other side.
Hi, Sages. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. My name is Steph. I want to thank you for being here. Earlier in the month, I created an ink blot made in your name and essence, and we're going to flip it for perspective possibilities. We'll scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses, and may you meet a message with meaning. Sages, we're also going to add on Tarot and Oracle, and where Mr. Ghost Gift is here kicking, we have Ghost Tube for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Overall, pleased to receive or release freely, of course. When you're ready for the reveal, so you can start scrying for yourself if you'd like, while I open up, or you're welcome to use the timestamps below if you want to get to where you want to go. Sages taking a nice deep breath, closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of the Sagittarius Collective. Sages, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Gratitude.
Blood.
All right, Sages, if you saw anything or see anything, please feel well to comment below, but I understand if you're, introverted, and that's okay too. Okay, so right in about here, and sorry about my hands and nails, but you're probably used to it by now. This, I'm seeing it like a lion. There's the lion's tail. This lion is very, very purple. You know when the lion may mean something to you, and please follow that, but you know when a color is so deep, like blues, greens, purples, very, I almost want to say like royal in nature. Okay, so they're so deep that they start to merge into what could be seen as like the darkness of the shadow, but it's just so deep. Now, because this line is more purple in nature, and I'm seeing this for the first time, I'm actually going to remember this golden Pegasus. And this golden Pegasus, is a symbol of a spirit, guardian, of I'm going to use the term level, or, because I'm seeing the cosmic egg, if you have any, or whatever rendition in whatever culture or teacher, learner you might know that from. Anyway, so they're pouring onto your shoulders and
Blessed.
back, and they're drawing, I'm going to say like a poison out. Because as this is, and this is why I don't want to necessarily say poison, because for them drawing it out, because I'm seeing it like a syringe and it's drawing it out. Maybe this is grief. Maybe this is, now I'm seeing it like an oil sludge. It's like getting an oil change in the spine, in the fluid, perhaps, if you're working on chakras or your vortexes, your medicine wheels, but they're drawing it out. And this spirit guardian of this particular landscape or level can use that like a pen almost, like it's valuable to them because they're working with you for you, and vice versa. It's almost like there's some sort of, they can reuse it, and any hurts, any hindrances in the posturing of your fluid
Protect.
is not only being protected, but because I'm seeing it now like go into, okay, this is weird. It's very well out of my wheelhouse. What, like if somebody takes blood and then it goes into some shaker thing. I don't know.
Divination dose.
Divination dose. That's just the way I'm seeing it. Like it's doing something. Maybe it's separating like oil and water. Yeah. And there's information there. So it's almost like they get this pure thing. And I don't know if maybe if this is something that is scribed in the Akashic with it, or in your shadow scrolls, or if it's returned to you. Interesting the way I saw that, and I'm not going to try and force it to make sense. If it's, if you get it type thing, or if you're willing to wander. It's like something that becomes, it's like seeing lava that's liquid turn into the rock for new land that becomes its own diamond. But there's all these different stages, and there's this process going on about it. I hope that makes sense somewhere to someone. It feels very well, and it's something specific to the spine, but in the higher chakras. So not so much in the root, sacral, and solar plexus. It feels like it's from the heart, high heart to throat, back of the throat specifically, like the nape of your neck, the jade pillow of sorts. It's about there. Like that's it right there. And there's something about, give me a sec, sorry. Courage. Because I feel very restful. I feel also very trustful. And you know what's interesting? Because I'm seeing my cat Big O, or my big baby, and he just always has an ear issue, right? And he's such a big cat with big claws, and if he's just playing, it's dangerous, right? This is how I'm feeling that your energy is. It's like big cat energy, and to the right. I'll say right to maybe the right resonance. He allows me to get in there, and he allows me to help. And even though he's this big cat, he's not wily, and he might reach a point where he's like, "Hey, enough." And I respect that because he trusts that, right? The point being is he's the biggest cat, scariest cat, biggest nails. They're like, he can do the most damage. That's how I'm feeling.
Cemetery.
But whoever this golden guardian of Pegasus is that's helping you in that space, it has that same feeling. You have this trust with it, and you can be restful. Like you'll just be there. And it's helping you. And even though it might be in relation to dirt or damage, grief, pains, hurt, you know what I mean? All of those very human things, but it's helping, and you know that. And when you reach a point of, okay, enough, sages, that's respected. When you say stop it, okay, it's respected, because it's okay, thank you. I can take that now, do that shaky science thing to separate, and they can go and do what they need to do. Obviously, if you can apply this in some other range of what's happening in your tangible reality, by all means. This is just the essence of how I'm feeling it. Okay, I'm going to carry on. Thank you. See, they can do something with it right here. Right in this moment. It's like they can draw it in. It's not held. I also want to note, sages, that this might be something that you have the capability to do. I want to quick responsively say transmute, but it feels like a transfusion. It feels like a transfusion. It's not held in the aura of this level or land. And I believe you carry it, or you're connected to it. It could be something in your DNA, could be something in your bloodline.
Weak.
And if you are feeling weak, if you're, I don't want to say ruminating, but what is that? Reflective. To move through any sort of memories or moments resentments, grief, you know, all those things. In whatever context, personal, professional, creative, corporate, romantic, platonic, overall, like your human experience, it's like I'm feeling it or I'm remembering it, because I remember the memory, but then I also remember the feeling, and I'm not holding it. Sages aren't holding it, just like this Pegasus. And it's being dripped out. I'm also seeing something about juicing. I don't know if somebody's juicing or something along that lines, or maybe you have to fast before something, or you're doing, or I don't know, coming or going from something where you might, you know, not eat for, and I'm not ever saying to not eat. No, I'm an eater. Manja, you eat, you feel full. But there might be times, there's specific places where you're going, where you might empty out. Which brings me into your Feng Shui card, which is the kitchen, or the images of, anyway, of the kitchen. So it's like cleaning up the kitchen at the end of the day, or in the morning, or whenever you get to it. See, and even like in this card, if it comes through, it's like there's the dirty. No, I don't want to say that. There's the evidence of living, the busyness, the business, whatever you're doing. And for some of you, as it's just popping in here, and I'm going to go with it, if it's in relation to a business, maybe you cook for a living, again, juicing or something along that lines. It's like you can see this evidence. The mess is evidence of what I like to say, the magic, right? Mess made magic. And the magic is then making the mess going away. Thank you. Also, somebody does have an elder feminine energy that likes to be in their kitchen or visits with you in the kitchen, like when you're doing things in a non-judgmental way. They're not hovering. They just like to be busy with you. They like to be busy with you. Oh, I just got willies. Okay.
We command it.
Something about toast as well is coming through. Toast and transfusion. I'm not going to try and make that make sense. Nonetheless. Sages. You could be cleaning up your business the way, like maybe you're going through fine details. You're like, okay, we want to have this meal, as an example, or whatever you would like to present to the world, whatever you're creating. For some, I feel like it's very service oriented, and it feels very heartful, belly full and heartful. Fill the belly and what fills the heart. It's like a million ingredients, but then you come out with this one or two things. So there's something about that. It's like you're not selling the mess or sharing the mess per se. And some of you might be doing that specifically. You're like, here's the reality, right? And what a wisdom for some that are going down that rabbit hole. Here's the reality of this. It's like when artists show, you know, oh, ta-da, here's my piece. And then, you know, but then really just like everything's a mess and you have drawers full of little strings and it's just craziness everywhere because you never know what you might need or be inspired by, or in a garage or whatever the case may be. But that's what it feels like. It's either expressing the mess to magic in one way, shape, or form. I'm not going to stay here because I feel like I'm getting constipated. However, I feel like if you know that what in relation to what this is, okay, because the meaning on the back of the Feng Shui card is getting organized. And this is what you're doing. Even in an organization, there might be some that are their company or your organization, and you're leading the reorganization, right? Putting things in the cupboards differently. Okay, how are we actually using this space? What is most functional for when you're at the stove? What is more functional for when you're near the fridge? What do you need? That type thing. The key to organizing your belongings to act as if everything you possess is alive and deserves a good home, from your kitchen equipment to the clothes in your bureau and your drawers. Begin Begin by removing excess, broken, worn out, unloved possessions from your closets, garage, basements, attics, etc. Organize it so that it's comfortable and the things serve you. And in doing so, you invite blessings to flow into your life. Ask yourself these clear the way questions. Do I love it? Do I need it? Does it support? What positive or negative thoughts? Where exactly am I going to keep it? Does it need to be fixed or repaired? Is it time to let go, sell, lend, or give it away? And I feel like that brilliance, Sages, which I'm not surprised in Sage's aura, and this might be like a restructuring, the transfusion, turning bread into toast. And if I recall, and I don't know if it's a truth or not, so bear with me, but at least the way it's coming through is when you freeze bread and de-thaw it and toast it, it's like that shaker science thing. And again, bear with me if I'm not right, but at least it's the essence of it. That process of it being frozen, thawed, toasted changes maybe the glycemic index. It's more easily digested when it's toasted. Something along that lines. Nonetheless, it's bringing me back into that shaker thing of transfusion. You're transfusing something. I don't know. Okay, so let's keep going. And I'm going to start adding on some tarot and oracle in just a moment. Tarot first. Okay, thanks. This is that diamond. That diamond when I was talking about lava. Liquid lava, solid lava. Is it still lava when it's solid, or is it called something else? Volcanic rock, maybe? Volcanic rock, I think that might be it. Okay, there is... Okay, something has a candy cane.
Please listen.
In their mouth. It's like, I almost like, okay, so it's not necessarily a candy cane, but again, it's like a weird little string. Like when birds go out and get strings and grass clippings and whatnot for their nest. It's a bird of some sort. It's handing it to an emotional, ethereal energy. And it's right here. There's like this piece and there's this bird. It kind of reminds me of Big Bird, but not in a silly way. This is sentimental. Sentimental Big Bird. And
it's not easy.
I'm not going to turn it, but the way I'm seeing it is actually this way. And I'm seeing it as like I don't know what they're called. Oh, the closest thing is I'm seeing a magazine when I was at the mechanics, like getting my snow tires on. What is... Oh, I can't. I feel like they're way, way, way up north. They kind of look like a bison. They look like a bull. They look like but they're so hairy. They're so hairy. They're so beautiful. I think they were almost extinct or some. Okay. Thank you. So what it's bringing me into is that this big bird of sentiment is like this kingpin, the big bird. And then you have the lion up here of courage. Now, King of Wands might mean something to you. Please follow that. Follow your own intuition. You know me, I'm going to follow the artistry, the essence, the aura, and then possibly the card. And then you have, see, there's all these cup things. It's like all these things in the air being shooken up. It's like juggling, but not juggling.
Halt.
Oh, do you know what I'm suddenly seeing? Is all my different lifetimes, all my different DNAs, all my different bloodlines that I have been a part of. It's like this is the here and now, the lineage, the family, the bloodline that your energy has incarnated in to support, And you've been there before as well in different characters, but you've also been a lot of other people. This is really bringing me into Sages, like humankind, the human race, the heart of humanity. The blessings of being. Sages. This is seriously sentimental in a space of, I'm going to use the term spiritual understanding or digestion. And I feel like I'm also looking at some things that maybe you've gone through, felt. It is like raining gold around you. Sorry, give me a moment. If it's not the golden Pegasus, it's these golden cups. I feel showered by love in your aura right now. And I think it's because of some of the serious things you've gone through. And you might feel, did you say weak? You might feel away right now. And this is why you're being tended to from the top of the food chain. That's top of the food chain type feel. From the golden Pegasus. And it's not meant to be so crude. But there's like a reorganization of cells or muscle, I don't know, bloodline, I don't know what it is, but it feels well. There's a fleshing out, the fast of it all. And I think this is also what you share amongst humanity. But if you're holding on to anything, I feel like holding on to the heart space of the human race versus getting stuck on individual mountains of sorts. Mountains and moles. I feel like where you do very intimate, interconnected work at your job, in your relationship with your family, with your kids, with your friends, wherever that may be, even when you're talking to yourself in the car. Okay, so thank you. As soon as I said that, because the Chariot did come up. And see how there's the black and white cats here. When you're driving, it's like this Pegasus is flying above you as well. Now, I think it's a different Pegasus or some sort of spiritual protection creature. Because it's like a thinking bubble above you as you're driving. So I feel like I'm talking to myself in the car a lot, which is cool. I do it myself as well. Cosmic. You also might be channeling along that line, channeling this Pegasus, channeling your highest self. Okay, so I want to come into your rune, which is the bee. The bee might mean something to you specifically, but it also comes into sexuality and fertility. Okay. This transfusion of sorts, for lack of a better term, but perhaps the best term, in this reorganization, right? Reorganizing of all these cups that you have, these blessings that you have. And even while you might be feeling down and out in some way, shape, or form in different, whatever containers those are, it's a fertility thing. It's like reinvigorating other incarnations' blessings. They're being shared amongst the all.
Doll.
I'm also seeing a T-Rex. And a pool floaty. The T-Rex makes me feel, and also like at the back of the T-Rex is almost like a shark. The T-Rex is connected to my shadow. And I don't, but the depths, your void, where creation is conceptualized. And your pool floaty is connected to your shine, your solar body, whatever the case may be, whatever feels good to you.
Doom.
When the pool floaty feels a threat of something sharp, and I want to come back into like that transfusion of like maybe, fear of needles or something like that, and I'm with you. It's like the T-Rex portion comes forward to protect the pool floaty. Two of Wands. One's the lock, one's the key. Together they decide when your energy is open, when your energy is closed. And that's not in some be-all, end-all of a... I'm hearing like saving on hydro. Were you born in a barn?
Make a noise.
Turn the lights off if you're not in the room or something along that lines. And then I'm also seeing it in the way of, turning the big light on or ambiance lighting. 10 of Wands. We'll take one more for the Sages. Somebody's also like losing weight. And now whether that's weight of your physical expression, your physical incarnation, there's also this feeling of the weight of my worry, the weight of my worry. There's something about this reorganization. For some, this could even be, because the way I'm seeing it, it's just popping in. I'm going to go with it, is with the bee and the reorganization of the kitchen and the Two of Wands. Somebody might be carrying a burden over some sort of identity or in where their love resonates with, if it's another person, another gender, or culture.
You shouldn't be here.
Or race. And again, that's bringing me back to this whole holistic human experience that the Sages have. Holding the one heart for all of these existences and experiences, where love knows no bounds type thing. Does that make sense? Because I feel like even in one regard, and it doesn't have to be in that regard, but that is something that has stepped forward. I might be carrying a burden on a personal level of romantic, platonic, and those choices. And then maybe also from an organizational space of, I need to get rid of some things, some clothes or some items. And then also for business, if you're the one making the tough decision, saying we need to cut out some departments or some positions. Those are tough decisions to make. And that's what it's making me feel like. It almost feels like, how do I make these decisions in any regard? Hi. How do I make these decisions without hurting someone else? Because I now know the hurt. I can go to that hurt. But then I have Justice here, and it's almost feels like, without knowing, you're part of the balance of it all. Without knowing, by even being compassionate and considerate to how causes and effects play out. How do I say that? Give me a moment. I will let you see so you can...
Attic.
Sages, you hold the ability, because I'm being drawn in the red here, and of the King of Wands. When it's like liquid red hot lava pouring out of the volcano. Some of you might be in like anger management, or you help guide people. Or again, maybe you are a school. Oh, I can't remember what that person's called. Guidance counselor. And respectively, in order to look at the long term of the business, the long term, what was that term that I used? I can't remember now. Functionality of your kitchen or your closet or your clothes, whatever the case is, your recipes. There's something about long term that's here, long term. Sustainability, versatility. Yes. Does that make sense? I feel like the time that you take to care and consider is appreciated from this realm, from this layer landscape drawing me back up. If somebody's wondering if they're going to make a decision because you have so many options or things that you're juggling, I feel like it's because the way I'm seeing it is hello, peekaboo, like putting things out for a yard sale or cleaning out a garage and just going keep, sell, donate, garbage. There's these different piles. Yeah. Okay. And then when it comes into like personal resonance and relationship, it feels like, is it this or is it that? And it's come back to the whole heart. Come back to the wholeness of the human experience. Your oracle cards. I'm sorry, sages. I hope I didn't butcher that. It felt very serious, but the sentiment is so endearing. Oh my goodness. Once again, you have here Leo Kingdom with another lion. I was going to say Leon.
Jackie.
Leon. And then you have guidance here. We were talking about that guidance counselor receiving guidance from the highest level. And there's the spirit in there as well, because, oh my goodness, see how like this is coming. Feels emotional and ethereal. Your energy, you are, because of what you're transmuting, because of the transfusion, it's not transmuting. I'm sure there's an air of transmutation in there, but this feels like transfusion of all the frequencies and almost relieving myself of some certain choice. But also knowing when to make the hard choice and not feeling bad about that, by being the leader that guides the whole ship to shore safely. That's my responsibility. And who's on shore, the contracts that I've made, the decisions that we're making together, the advice, do you know what I mean? The whole kit and caboodle. It's all there. And you have the compassion. See, even with like the black and the white swans, the chariot with the black and the white cats. You also have shadow guides. They feel very soothing. It's like the T-Rex that's protective of the pool floaty.
Follow me.
And the pool floaty that's not afraid of the T-Rex as a threat. Even though it's like all pointy. I don't know, I'm just seeing like pointy scales. And we've been talking about your compassion for the collective, but also your key. Your key is compassion. Your key is compassion. While I make the choices. While I make choices. You have here awe and ecstasy. This is that receiving. From, okay, so remember what I was talking about, that Pegasus like pulling things out, doing its little thing, and then they can write in the Akashic or Shadow Scrolls with it, and then that gives back to you, and then it's like downloaded in. It feels refreshing. Sages, and then you have here Ursa Minor with vows. I think it was Capricorn that also had this awe card, and that's just standing out for me. Oh my gosh, look at my hair. It's fine. It's crazy. Crazy hair. That might be something that you might resonate with. I think it was near the end of their reading, or you can check the timestamps for when their oracle offering was. See, I always say, see? Sorry. I feel like I'm blissed out. I am blissed out right now. I'm going to try and remember that for your title. Blissed out. Like top of the food chain. But you have to make choices with the 5 there. Choices. And you make them.
Nobody understands.
No, not everyone understands what, what the accountant goes through, what the baker goes through. We can be appreciative, but we don't really know, right? Their mess to magic process. We just see, oh, the books are done. Oh, it's tax season. Here you go. Do you want to know what your accountant goes through? How? I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? The mess to magic. Sometimes you don't want to know how the sausage is made. And sometimes you do. With Andromeda and then the sacrifice. And if you do want to, it's like if anyone else wants to know how the Sagittarius sausage is made, how the mess to magic and magic to mess, once you know, you know. But I feel like there's always like a secret ingredient, right? That secret, something that can't be shared, it can't be taught, not because it's being held back, because it's something that's like through lifetimes and eons of existing in different planets, in different places, but specifically I seem to be seeing you're reflecting upon so many lifetimes, incarnations, specifically here on Earth. 13 being of an integrating number, the integrating number for me, but it might mean something to you. Please follow that. How long have I been blabbering? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to start closing out here, sages. I promise. I promise. You've made your sacrifices, and you will continue to make them with compassion, strength, sincerity. But at the end of the day, even like this guardian stepping forward blatantly, and we did talk. Did I talk about her just in my head?
Pamela.
About this? Maybe her name's Pamela. The spirit with you in the kitchen, and she steps forward. She has also made sacrifices along the way. It's like this chain of events, the chain of magic and messes, magic and messes. And I'm sorry I keep saying that because they're all the same thing. It's some sort of scientific, spiritual, the science of being spiritual, the spirituality of science, being an oracle and an organic, omnipotent, omnipresent being. And I'm not trying to buff it up for you, but I feel like whatever you guys have been going through doing, I kind of like want to, again, share what I'm feeling of like this blissed out. Share it with you.
Marie.
Receive. For some, it could also be witches' wounds or warlock wounds that are being healed and embraced. Love it. Sages, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you did like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Oh my goodness. All the links are below to help a gal grow. I am so grateful. If you want to get in on the Scroll into Spring draw that closes out soon, join the membership, get in on the ground floor. You don't have to go away, but I will go away now. I will. Thank you so much for your time, your attention, and awareness. I am truly grateful, and it warms my haunted heart. And until next time, sages, I'll talk to you later. Oh, you know what I'm hearing? It's like from the movie Batman, or was it one of the Joker one? Why so serious?